Hey, it's Marina, travel experta. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about treating yourself right and going out to a high-end cocktail lounge. Are you ready for some niblets and inspiration to get you going to one as well and make every single day an adventure? Ready to make every day an adventure? Let's begin. So, I live in Antigua, Guatemala. Guatemala, interestingly enough, is known for one of the best rums in the world, the Zacapa Rum. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but if you do know anything at all about rum, you will know right away Zacapa is one of the best. And actually, if you buy one of their limited editions, we're talking several $100s for a bottle. It is very high end. It is one of the most respected rums in the world. And what they do, they also have two or three these high-end cocktail lounges in Guatemala. I think there's only two or three in the whole country, and one of them is in Antigua, Guatemala. So I'm not gonna lie to you. Guatemala is a narco economy. We all know it, and if you're pretending that it's not true, it's a lie. It's a normal thing. 80% of the economy here is somehow revolved around narco. If you don't know what narco is, watch Narcos on Netflix, and you'll get a pretty good idea of what that is. Basically, drug lording, the whole thing. And I'm married to a Guatemalan, so every time we used to pass this Casa del Ron, this beautiful lounge, or it's also a restaurant. I used to say, I really want to go there. He's like, oh no, it's just a bunch of narcos, a bunch of these cowboys, blah, blah, blah. And because it's this limiting belief of anything that's super high end that it's automatically only visited by the narcos. Finally, I convinced him, let's go during a weekday when there's nobody really there, right? Because on weekends, yeah, it gets populated. I highly doubt that it is, Narcos is probably just wealthier people because it is high end, it is a little bit pricey. So finally, I convinced him to go to Casa del Ron. And I have to tell you this, all right? I'm just going to cut it to the point. He loved it. It was such an incredible experience. First of all, the service is top notch. It is one of the best services we have had ever. So, of course, if you are going to be in Casa de Ron, the rum they serve is usually of the highest quality. I am not a rum drinker because, I'm used to crap like Bacardi and other cheap rums because that's really what people have on hand. I'm not a rum drinker, so I will never go seeking the really good rum. So here they have this amazing menu of all these different kinds of cocktails all infused with rum, or I should say the Zacapa rum is the base. And we ended up ordering two different cocktails. My husband got one for himself, and I personally enjoy really sweet kind of cocktails, and one for me. I have never tasted anything so tasty, so fluid, like it was almost silky flavored. It was fantastic, right? Then we also ordered some munchies. We didn't want to actually eat meat, the meals, because we are vegan and vegetarians, and the majority of the meal, like the main meals or the hot dishes, were all meat based, except for they have this one French fries, but it's more of like home fries with this truffle sauce and whatnot. And we're like, okay, it's the only thing that we could really eat, and it was heavenly. Absolutely heavenly. So there's a reason why it's called a high end, you know, uh, bar, I guess. It's not really a bar, it's more like a lounge or restaurant because just the fries alone is more expensive than the regular meal at any other restaurant. But again, really worth it. So worth it. And then we had to, of course, top it off with a dessert. So every single dessert had the Zacapa rum somehow infused into it. We got the creme brulee, and then at the end, they put this a little bit of the Zacapa gold. So it actually had gold flakes in it on top of it. I mean, the whole thing, it's not just like going and eating, it's a full on experience. And if you have these places that you see and you're like, oh, it's too expensive, it's too much for my taste, or come up with another silly story like only visited by narcos, you're going to limit yourself. After finally allowing my husband allowing me to convince him. We had such a fun time. And then you could go into like the cavern where they keep the barrels. So the whole thing was just a true experience. And it was even better because we were the only ones there at that time. I usually don't enjoy going to restaurants when we're the only ones there because everybody's constantly on top of us. But it wasn't like that at all. Like the waiters knew their place. It was just everything was very high end, high quality, and it was an experience that me and my husband will totally remember for a long time. So treat yourselves, guys. We only live once. And if you can't think of some really cool, make your own, make every day an adventure style of things to do that are right there in your own home, in your backyard, go to travelexperta.com. Travel experta, like expert with an A.com. And I've got 365 idea list for you completely for free. Go and check it out. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, please leave a review and share with your friends to inspire them to do the same.